Today, we'll demonstrate an agentic AI procurement sourcing solution powered by SimplAI. This solution automates the end-to-end RFQ process, from supplier discovery and RFQ creation to response tracking, evaluation, and supplier recommendation. In most organizations, procurement is highly manual. Buyers create RFQs, contact suppliers individually, follow up for responses, and compare quotes manually. This leads to delays, errors, and poor scalability. The simple AI procurement sourcing agent automates the entire workflow. It captures requirements, generates RFQs, identifies suppliers, sends requests, tracks responses, evaluates quotes, and recommends the best supplier, all automatically. This transforms procurement into a faster, scalable, and data-driven process. Let's see how this works. This is the agent which can handle all the RFQ processes. Let's ask the agent to source 500 units of wireless mouse. Now, the agent is planning and evaluating. Based on that, it will ask for clarifications needed to proceed with the order. Let's say the brand is Logitech, the delivery region is USA, the preferred currency is dollar, the expected view date is within 7 days, the delivery date is within 20 days, and the deadline for supplier responses is 3 days. We have now provided all the requirement information to the agent. Based on this, the agent is now drafting an RFQ for us. The agent has filled all the required information and has executed this tool, which contains all the details. It has created an RFQ ID and project ID for us for this specific project. The agent has provided all this information and a simple template of the RFQ, which will be sent to the suppliers with all the details filled in. Now, the next step is to approve this. We select Approve and Proceed. As the next step, based on the RFQ that has been generated, it is asking for the supplier information. The system asks whether, since this RFQ has been drafted and completed, we want to suggest a supplier. We can respond with, "Yes, please suggest suppliers." The agent has its own supplier data. Even if we make any mistakes, this agent will handle everything carefully and gather all the necessary information. We can also trace every piece of information and execution that the agent is performing. Now it is using the supplier suggestion request. It has a list of suppliers based on the category. For example, there are suppliers like Global Supplier 3, United Supplier 8, and Pioneer Supplies. It then asks which suppliers we want to proceed with. We can choose to go with the top 2. Let's select the top 2 suppliers. If we want, we can even stop here, but we will proceed with the top 2 suppliers. The RFQ has been successfully sent to these suppliers, and the system can monitor all the responses. Since we have some sample responses available, we can ask it to check the responses from these suppliers. It will use the Fetch Response tool to get these responses from the suppliers. So this is the response that shows the currency, what they are bidding, and their confirmed delivery date. We can also evaluate these suppliers. We can ask to evaluate these 2 suppliers and tell us which one is best. Now, based on these 2 suppliers, it is ranking United Supplier as number 1 due to a lower bidding rate and faster delivery, which matches the requirements for this specific order. Both suppliers are reliable, but the recommendation is to proceed and make the order to United Supplier. Now, the order has been completed for this one. We can provide feedback for this specific execution. We can also download this information. We can trace every execution to see what happened in the specific case, how it has created the plan, how it has evaluated, and how it has created those function calls. Inside that specific tool, we can see which tool ran and which version was used. Each step's input and output can be traced. We can also see the waterfall version, which helps us evaluate where it is taking more or less time. This makes it easier for debugging and monitoring. Let's look at the making part as well. This specific agent can use any model. It has base instructions that help it use the right tool at the right time. All the tools are in place, and there are tool usage limits to prevent too many executions by the agent, with a maximum number of tools per run and a maximum timeout per run. To make it more scalable, we can use sub-agents that have additional features and guardrails in place. We can even publish this tool. For example, if we want to publish D5, we can do that. This tool can keep a run history where we can see which executions are completed, which have failed, what the latency is, and we can trace each application to see what happened inside. We can also see which executions are in progress and which are completed. We can deploy this specific agent using the API. Deployment can be done using webhooks, or we can use an embed code version. There is also the option to deploy an A2A configuration and to third-party applications. We can evaluate this using a test dataset, just as a QA would do during testing. We can create test datasets using AI, and we can evaluate these applications using both past and future executions. Now, let's evaluate this. Suppose we want to do a data relevance check. We will test on the latest version only. Based on that, all the executions for the latest traces will be shown here. We can use an LM as a judge source for agent evaluation to check whether the agent's input and output are correct. This is a very basic way of writing it. Based on this, the evaluator's configuration is auto-filled, and it will evaluate according to our expectations. Instead of 20, let's do it on the top 5. Now, let's save with this one, and it will start evaluating the trace. We can go and see each input and output and the street execution. As this is started, we can see this is in the Scope Interaction Center. Here we can see the explanation as well. For each trace, we can see this information, and we can even see the trace itself. For which trace is this? We provide the source and label. And if we want to see the configuration, we can see the configuration as well. This solution reduces sourcing cycle time, eliminates manual RFQ work, and automates supplier communication. It improves comparison accuracy, enables data-driven decisions, and increases overall efficiency. Procurement teams can handle more requests without increasing resources. Traditional AI only provides answers. Agentic AI goes further. It plans workflows, interacts with tools, communicates with suppliers, tracks responses, evaluates data, and makes recommendations. It doesn't just assist, it executes the entire sourcing process end-to-end. In summary, this solution shows how Agentic AI transforms procurement sourcing. By automating the full RFQ cycle, organizations achieve faster execution and better decisions. The AI acts as a digital procurement assistant, managing the entire workflow. Thank you.